Hey everybody, time to release something that almost nobody asked for. Automobilista, which I consider a modern sim, and you should too, running Formula 1 Grand Prix, a DOS game from 1991 by Geoff Crammond, thanks to Wills mainly because he already had the mod for AMS, and I went to town a year ago recreating the physics, the feel, and even the AI racing of that old DOS game. So if you were into that old DOS game, like to relive it, and now of course with AMS you could play online with the same feel, this might be for you. So check it out on RaceDepartment, link down below, and now I will just run through the document and installation a bit and do a lap or so. So here we go. So when you download all 3 megabytes of mod, you get a PDF which you should read because there are some instructions to follow. Most notably, there is a player profile included which has all the keyboard settings, all the weird things that you have to do in order to get that keyboard Formula 1 Grand Prix experience. So do read the README. Here are some overlays. So Formula 1 Grand Prix has telemetry output thanks to the community who loved that game and did way more things with it than should have been possible. So here's some overlays, just engine braking. So I'm letting go of the throttle at high speed. And you should just see the curve telemetry time versus speed in AMS and at Formula 1 Grand Prix. Just look at how close this is. The car follows the same sort of deceleration curve, acceleration curve, so the torque and the drag, everything is almost there. Upshifting, an acceleration run, the speed and the RPM, it's almost identical. And lifting off the throttle, so you get engine braking and downshifting, it's even the shift points I managed to get almost identical. Braking hard, automatic downshift, lots of things happening, but even there AMS and the game, DOS game, are almost identical. And of course tire compounds, there are different compounds, different grip levels, with the A the hardest and the Q the softest tire. The braking speeds in Formula 1 Grand Prix and in AMS are almost the same. Tires wear, I never knew that about the DOS game, but they do, and thanks to the modding community of F1GP we know the grip levels of that. So all the tires are available in the game and they have the same wear profile as the old DOS game. So it's really quite hardcore, and of course nobody asked for that and only a few people might enjoy that, but this is as close to the physics of Formula 1 Grand Prix as you can get. However, that is useless if it doesn't play nice, so let's launch the game. Thanks so much to Wills for making that amazing intro. So if you've installed it properly and in the player profile you have selected the provided F1GP remake profile, you should be good to go basically with keyboard settings all done properly. So let's, if you want to select the mod, here it is, F1GP. It is selected now. Let's do a test day. You can change the drivers here, the cars. I go to Imola. You can use fuel usage and tire wear. It does follow the real DOS game quite closely. So let's do a quick test here. In the garage, we can change a few things. Of course, you can change the fuel. You cannot change this in the DOS game because it is automatically set there. Plus, it never runs out. It goes to 0, but you can still drive. Weird. Here you do have to select the fuel load. It will, of course, affect the car. You can change the tires. Just like in the real game, they have the same duration and grip levels between them, so that's all very realistic. Of course you can change auto shifting if you want, brake bias, steering lock. The wings are the same as in the DOS game. They even affect the acceleration and stuff of the car, almost exactly the same. We go to 65 instead of 64 because we started 1 instead of 0, so it's actually 0 to 64. Rear wing doesn't go above 45 because I couldn't match the drag, extreme drag that you get in the DOS game, but I don't think anybody would use more than 45 anyway. Gears, same ratios available as in the DOS game, so it's even there very much the same. And here nothing is adjustable because nothing is adjustable in the DOS game.
Data acquisition enabled.
So there we go. Change the field of view a little bit. You hear the sound is very clearly F1GP. It's a direct copy, capture of the game. Of course, it runs at a high frame rate here, which it won't do in DOS, 25.6. So even the braking performance, the tire skid sounds as well. It has an amazing, if I may say so, resemblance to the DOS game. That feel of the steering help, the somewhat sort of jerky steering that you get in the DOS game. Totally by accident it turns out that AMS has roughly the same feel of steering aids. So it is very much a keyboard fun experience and very reminiscent of the DOS game. So that's pretty neat, a lot of fun if you enjoyed the old DOS game, that is. Races are of course also fun, so I've changed the AI to be quite aggressive. Also the slipstream effect is pretty close to the real game, which means it's a big suck effect if you get really close. So we have AI drivers. With 100% strength it gets pretty hard, but it might be doable, but it's pretty tricky. So let's do a race. Here all the cars are going. No opponent sounds, because there are no opponent sounds in the DOS game. Somebody in a slipstream, because of the amazing slipstream effect, which is just, you see, oop, there we go. The AI will also overtake a lot of, you know, it will be very, we missed the corner, oh, I'm sorry. The AI will really overtake you, because they get the same draft effect as you do. And with the simplified physics, and I have become a little bit better in tweaking AI. So I did a lot of telemetry overlays with a lap of mine. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's just Ayrton. A lap of mine versus an AI lap, to see what I could tweak with the grip and stuff to make the AI as close to me as possible. So the AI is really tuned as well as I could, and it's just weird to see these old school graphics. I'm driving like a pleb, I know. But this is a whole lot of fun. There are some videos on my channel, I will link them below, where you can see some races where I actually try. So, I hope you will find this interesting. I don't think you will, because not many people seem to be into this, but hey, it's on RaceDepartment, it's only 3 megabytes. If you have AMS, you want that old school DOS vibe of Formula 1 Grand Prix by Geoff Crammond, who basically invented sim racing. Have a go. Bye bye.